Yeller.
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello. So this week we're checking in with each other, with y'all, with our projects. And then yeah, we're gonna do a little thing called 10 things we hate about film. So stick around. If I sound super tired, it's because I am. And because allergies have been beating my ass these last few weeks. And then I took
Gee.
like it's like they're becoming super saiyan because I'm taking like my eyes, I woke up with my eyes nearly shut this morning and
Wow.
itchy. And I'm taking like a 24-hour, like I'm taking two 24-hour little like things. And before I used to like take one a day for like a week and that would be enough in my system. But anyways, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I can certainly empathize. I don't get them every year, but when it's bad, it's really bad. So yes, I
Yeah,
feel
and
for you.
then
I'm sorry you're going through it. It's terrible.
my eyes weirdly, it's like my eyes specifically will age 100 years. Like they will
Mm.
just get like so raw and whatever, but then have so much bags and whatever because I'm not sleeping well. It
Well,
scares me every time.
I mean, it is because you're not sleeping well, but it's also because like the antihistamine or whatever it is, like dries
Yeah.
out your eyes, right? Like so it dries out your skin. So like you're rubbing your eyes and it's like rubbing sandpaper, like you're
Yes,
not.
yes, yes, yes.
It's a terrible combo. It's a one-two punch for sure. Yeah, there's nothing worse than feeling shitty and then looking shitty, right?
Yeah, no,
Like, that's a
truly,
real fucking bummer,
truly. And I need to get
you
my
know?
hair done. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, we should avoid mirrors at all costs when you're not feeling your best
yeah.
because, oof, it takes it out of you for sure. Well, I hope it gets better. That's really, shitty, yeah.
Thank you,
I
thank
think
you.
lots of people listening will know what it's like to have bad allergies, and, yeah, you just can't tell half the time between one season and another.
I
Kinda comes
mean,
at you sideways, which is
so
kind of how my week went.
yeah, how did your week
Nice
go? What
segue.
came at you sideways?
Well, kinda goes back to what one of our earlier episodes was, like, trying to reach 1,000 rejections and,
Yeah.
like, sort of flipping that idea on its head, and so I did get rejected from a grant, and
Oh,
that is certainly not the end of the world. That's happened before, but it's a bummer because I really liked the project, and it was one of those ones where I don't think I will pursue it. It's not gonna be in competition without any funding behind it, so it's kind of
mhm.
like, well, until something changes, which you and I know that it could happen at any moment, but
Yeah,
for now, it just means that it goes back in the drawer, right? Which is a bummer
yeah,
because I did like it. But, yeah, just trying to convince myself or, like, remember the 1,000 rejections that we were
yeah,
follow along and, like, yeah, each rejection just means that it's a evidence that you're going after it, right? So,
yeah. Yep,
trying
yep,
to stay
yep, 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 yep.
positive. And there are good things happening, so
Yes, this is
you
true.
shouldn't complain, right?
This is true, this is true, this is true. What was, well, is that what made your week go sideways?
Well, kind of, just because it's like I don't like to be in that headspace
Right.
where I'm bummed out
Yeah.
about work, and, and also, the other thing is so my daughter's got prom next week,
Oh,
and
oh my God.
I was not a prom girly. Like,
Yeah,
I was very I mean, aside from it being, like, the era that I grew up in, I was very, like, pretty in pink. I made my own dress, and it didn't
yeah,
look like other anybody else's dress, and it didn't look like, prom
yeah,
dresses,
yeah,
and I was very sort of going kind of in protest, like, I just was
yeah,
not
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
into it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean, right? Like, all
Yeah.
the things. She's very invested.
Mm,
So and she takes things very seriously. She doesn't take unpredictability well.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
she spirals. And so she's very invested, and it's just been a week of, like, waiting for deliveries and making sure we have all the tickets and, like, all this stuff that I am, like, I cannot tell you how disinterested I am, even though she's my
That's so
daughter and,
funny.
like, I want
That's
her to
so
have a good
funny.
time. I'm like, "This is really heavy lifting for me." I'm like, "No, no, you have to care. Like, you have to
That's
care."
so funny. I was that kid, but I guess I was also very much the student council president. So I think I project managed it all on my own. That's like hit my I think my I asked my parents, my dad to get the limo for us and we'd all pay him back, which we never did. God bless you, Brian. And that was it. But it was very like it was interesting because like it's like all my friends we all knew we were going just to go. Like it was almost like it was the pregame to what we
Right.
were doing after and to get the photos and everything like that. But yeah, no, went across the border with my mom, got the dress at Macy's,
Oh,
this big
wow.
blue dress, the like one of the You know, it's so funny. Black people don't really use the word hot to describe people's attractiveness, like
Mhm.
as in our natural vernacular. Like I think a bit more in pop culture we've said, but like who we talking about when we're saying hot and who a lot of people are talking about when they say hot are usually not the same hot. But
Right.
anyways, he was, for lack of a better term, the hottest guy that he had left our school the year before, whatever, and had
Mhm.
asked me to prom. Bitch, I was going. Oh, I was going. And so we went and then we did the Wasaga trip after. But I think I coordinated most of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious for you, like during times like this when you don't necessarily work traditional hours
Mhm.
per se, right? Like you're not going somewhere physically so that your kids understand, like, oh, you're at work, even though this big thing, like, do they just like even now that they're older, sometimes just see you as available because you're around?
All the time. Oh,
That's
yes.
so funny.
I mean, there's a couple of things. They understand the podcast, right? And
Yeah,
so when I
yeah,
say I'm on a call or like I'm recording, they tend to be pretty good about it.
yeah,
But it only goes so far. Like they're aware that I'm unavailable, but then they will just text me instead. Like I don't know how many
yeah.
times you've heard like my phone just starts
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah,
going
yeah,
crazy when
yeah,
we're
yeah,
recording
yeah,
as if
yeah,
it's like, you guys, like,
yeah, yeah.
and stop it, stop it, stop it. So like,
Especially if you're on a meeting or thing with me because they know me, like, so they're like, "Oh, is this like a meeting where I could
yes.
technically interrupt, or is it a meeting where you're gonna murder me if I interrupt?" kind of thing. Yeah,
100%. And,
yeah,
like, so I do have to do that, right? Like,
yeah,
sometimes, like, we have this pitch on Monday, and so, like, I will have to, in advance of that, say to them both very, very clearly and, like, exaggerate the stakes, right? Like, who
yeah,
cares, right? Like, if the
yeah,
dog comes
yeah,
in or what, like, it doesn't really matter, but just so that they don't bother me with, like,
yeah,
1,000 texts
yeah,
in 2 seconds,
yeah,
I will have to say, "This is like life or death. You
yeah,
cannot, under any circumstances, come to my door, make any noise, be on the fucking internet, like everybody off, no gaming, no streaming, no nothing." Like I have to
yeah,
like lay it out so thick and so extreme
yeah,
just for
yeah,
them to like calm down. Right.
yeah. That's hilarious.
And so, but the flip side of that is that I can't then, when they act that way, be like, no, I was just exaggerating, like I can't
Yeah,
blow
no,
it. Right.
no, 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 no,
And
no,
so
no,
then when
no.
I'm off the call there, so how did it go? What's going to happen? Are we going to be millionaires? Like, is our life going to change because I acted as if it was going to, right? And
This
like,
was
so
a
when I'm
call
like,
from
what are
the
you
big
talking about?
leagues. Yeah,
And I'm like, huh?
yeah.
And they're like, the thing that was so fucking big. I'm like, oh, right, 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 right. We'll see.
That's actually so funny, and I can
Like, I am
totally see
in
it.
So often, Sasha, I am in a headspin of like the lies I am telling, the exaggerations I am making, trying to deal with their own exaggerations where I'm like, again, with prom being like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a big deal, but it's really not to me. But I
Yeah, yeah,
gotta
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
get it
yeah,
up for
yeah, yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
Like it is such a
The
performative household.
performance of parenting, I was just gonna say, yeah,
It really is. Like I am
that's very
constantly
funny.
pretending,
That
constantly
is
pretending.
very, very funny.
Yeah. So sometimes this also happens is that then when I get on the call, especially if I've had to do a whole bunch of performance just to get on this call and get them to like
Yeah,
I feel confident that they understand that they're not going to fuck me up.
yeah.
By the time I get on the call, it's almost like when you get on a plane and immediately fall asleep because you've made it onto the plane and it's on the runway
Yeah.
now and it's
Yeah.
like, okay. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
not
yeah,
when
yeah,
I can
yeah, yeah,
relax.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to like,
You actually do still need to be
I have to
present
do something
here.
for this
Yeah, yeah,
call.
yeah. That is so
And
funny.
yeah, it's
That is
exhausting.
yeah, I can imagine. So holy, I can
How about
obviously don't
you?
have
What was your week like?
this week was a lot of different stuff. I was in the city for
Mm,
part of this week. Anytime I'm in this, it just becomes like the most jam-packed. I'm in a well, not really, it's not a writer's room, but I'm on a show that's in production, and so they have the office, and so it's been nice to drop in there a couple days a week as I'm writing scripts. And I was thinking about it yesterday. I feel like I'm in 30 Rock sometimes when I'm there because
that's nice.
when I my very first so much of my writing career happened in a just before or post-pandemic world kind of thing. And so even my very first room, like the working mom's room, was fully online kind of thing. And by the time, even for Bria, the few room days we did a few when we were trying to get ahead on a season two, LOL, in person, but it was very much like in the writing room days phase of it, where we're just breaking stuff and that kind of thing. Whereas when I'm
Mhm.
here, they have their office. The showrunners have their office. The showrunner the showrunner and story editor and myself are in one office and the creators are in another office, but we're all just kind of working on scripts. And so every so often you're just
Mhm.
like, you go to the office and you're like, okay, so I have an idea. What about this? Da, 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 and you have that like live
Oh,
moment. And
interesting.
then yesterday, one of the creators, because we like the picking lunch thing, right? That you always see in
Yeah.
30 Rock and like, where we're going to pick it. So it's always that kind of conversation. And yesterday he comes in, one of them, and is like, pizza party? Pizza party? I feel like it's a pizza like just the kind of stuff that you miss from being in person, right? Like
Mhm.
we're not necessarily sitting there writing together all day. Like everybody's working on their own individual thing or flip, between emails and script writing or whatever. But it's just nice to kind of like, or like when scripts do get sent through, right? And people are reading them in the office, you get the laugh where you're like, oh, that is funny, or this made me think of this kind of thing in a way that,
Yeah.
like, as I'm saying it now, I don't think I've ever had before, like got to experience before kind of thing. It feels the closest like I've ever felt to what a writer's room anytime it's in a show or something like that, or has been described at large, or like a writing office has felt like.
It sounds great.
For sure. It really is. It just is that there's, 17 other things
Yes.
because, we're all, you end up just juggling multiple stuff or what have you. And so, which
Mhm.
is just to say, it's been nice to carve out like, the last couple weeks, at least a day or two where I'm there. And I wish I could just like be there like every day, right? Or as often as
Mhm.
I uh could be kind of thing, because even though like I'm still writing on the other days, but there's just other stuff that takes it up. But it is a really really nice and for like a comedy too, right? So it's just like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just throwing out jokes, or and I've met the or even like on Thursday, honestly the reason why I went down is because the showrunner and story editor had mentioned like us going out. I was like, oh, let's do like girls night out on a school night kind of thing. And so we ended up going out to eat. And even that was just funny because we were like, all of us were in the office and we were leaving at like 4:40 and being like, all right, guys, bye, bye, bye. And they were like, all the girls are going out. And we went for dinner at Danny's, and it was very good. And
Amazing.
then, yeah, they have this like broccolini starter dish that is like, it's worth it. We should go one day, actually.
All
They
right.
have like
Let's do it.
they also have a vinegar chicken that I think with that broccolini thing would be really great, and it would be yeah, yep, 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 yep,
I
yep,
haven't
really,
eaten
really.
today. Now you're making me hungry.
I'm
It's great.
sorry, but we should go. And then Sandra ended up like I guess getting tickets or whatever through Departure Fest to see I Love Boosters, and so we went and did that.
Oh,
And then Cassandra's cool had some friends that were opening up a coffee shop afterwards, and I was like, I'm in the city. Let's just do it. And so then I went and it was just like it was like a pseudo, it was the best kind of night out, right? We had a plan that went off and then like a little impromptu kind of thing, but that would have never come if I was working remotely the whole time kind of thing, right? Like I
yeah.
don't think we would have stumbled into that plan or committed to that in the same way. So it's been a
Yeah.
real it's always a highlight whenever that's in my week. And then 30% of just like adult administration like took up my week this week of just like stuff you can't like moving forward on my taxes, a bunch of stuff like that. If you're listening to this, yes, I know they are late. And then juggling the other projects, right? Like we're getting
Yeah.
ready for the pitch, which again, much to my chagrin, every time you do rehearse and edit, things do get better. And so we've gotten to a really good place with that pitch. I feel like I had a meeting with the production company and producers and they're feeling good about it too, which is always nice.
Mhm.
Especially because, like, during the winter, we were kind of not wobbly on the project, but just like, what is it? And really trying to like make sure we hone that. So it does feel really good
Yes.
going into the pitch, feeling like sometimes it's hard to tell of like, am I just overwhelmed why this thing is not feeling clear to me? Or do I just have too much on the go? And because or is there actually something bumping here that is worth investigating or what have you? And so it's nice to be a few months out from when we were trying to answer that question and be like, oh, no, no, it really did just it needed to get to a place to start really singing kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it's really worthwhile us just pausing and really diving into that for a second
Yeah.
because, we had this project we were working on, like you said, in the winter. And I feel like we had so many directions we could take it.
Yeah.
right? The story and the subject matter really was, like, quite juicy, and so, like, you could parse off one little bit of it, or you could try to do the whole thing. It could be a drama, it could be a comedy, it could be an investigative thing. There was so many options, and I think, like you were just saying, we couldn't really figure out between the 2 of us really what we wanted to do, what the approach was, and
Yeah.
so, like you said, it wasn't that we were, like, bumping heads as much as we were just not sure which lane we wanted to be in and
Yeah.
what we were gonna do with it. So, we pressed pause for just a couple of weeks, basically because it was happening over Christmas, and took our time rather than feeling like we had to make a choice and then wondering whether we made the right choice and being, like,
Yeah.
down that road. And here we are, like, now it's May and we're about to pitch this project, but, like, it is in a good place, and we're both
Yeah.
very excited by the direction that we settled on, and it was something that clearly our partners, their production partners, also wanted, and
Yeah.
so, they didn't pressure us, that relationship has been really great in it
Yeah. Yeah.
experience-wise so far, and so, like, it is great to know that as much as you want things to happen quickly or we're really excited by the opportunity, that it's okay just to pause when you think you need to pause and just to be sure that you're doing the right thing, which, I think really was a great thing for us to do. I think it raised a few eyebrows, making sure that it wasn't something bigger than what it was, because I don't think it happens very often, right? Where you have your writers being like, I just need a bit more time. Like, we're not sure that we're on the same page. Like, we just need to get there before we move forward. And yeah, and I don't even know that we could have done that without the experience that we have. And
What's so tough is like obviously you go through an experience and you learn a thing and you would love to be like, well, never again. And I got to keep all my spidey senses up and I'm going to make sure that, but then the next thing is so completely different in so many different ways, right? Like even if it is with the same production company and producing team, the project itself is calling for completely different things. Or even if it's like, it could be a very similar project, but you have different players at the table or different players from different territories or different stature in terms of like how big a swing it could be or whatever. And so it's like when we're taking that time too, you're just like, because there's also just reality sometimes of like, oh, am I just fatigued from development, right? Like, what is the thing? And that's kind of bumping here and looking at that because it could be any of those, right? It could
Mhm.
be like, oh, well, I like the show. I think I just don't want to be talking to people about notes on it kind of thing,
Right.
honestly. And that sometimes could be it, or whether you like your partners or not, right? That could just be, or at least for me, I think we've said this before, partly why Dinner with Friends came to be, right? Enjoyed a lot of my collaborative partners creatively and
Right.
production wise in making Bria, but I just wanted to do something and play where like 17 people didn't have to be on the email chain to approve, going zoom lenses over Prime or something like that kind of thing. So yeah, I think in that instance, and not like obviously people have bumped on stuff or like wanted more time for a story, but it was the specific thing of like we need to see if we're gonna like if we're gonna move forward with this right in the ways that we've so far pitched to you kind of thing, right? And
Mhm.
that becomes a bit more of a pause, but yeah, so that advance this weekend is in a good place. I took a couple Hail Mary swings as well too. I'll keep you posted on if those land or not before I tell you because then I'm gonna overthink it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and you guys wish us well. Hopefully the pitch goes well and we get development, we get a green light development, and then we can tell you what it is and what's it
Yeah.
about.
Yep. And I think we're going to record our at least a rehearsal because I just
Right.
even if it doesn't go just for
Yes.
us, I really want us to have that in case
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
anything
yeah, yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah. So when they're doing our retrospective, we have footage to offer of how
Well, imagine what
uh,
it would be like. I mean, I'm always interested in that kind of stuff, and, like, I guess, like, if you have a very successful show or a show that you really like and are really familiar
yes.
with, and then you see a table read from the first week, or,
Yeah.
you get to see the behind the scenes of, like, the very early days before anybody knew it was anything,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
so just
yeah,
for
yeah.
ourselves, like,
No,
it'd
I'm
be nice
with
to
you. Yeah, so I just have this other script to deliver for this show in production and then working on the feature upcoming, but
amazing.
that was kind of the week and then battling, ended it off with a heinous allergy attack and needing to get a new battery for my car, and we just have to be thankful that I could afford it and not have to uh freak out about that kind of I mean I probably should. I have this terrible like my I and because what are you gonna do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to not spend $300 on getting a new battery, but well, I need the battery. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, and so I'm very, uh, yeah, thing like that.
it's just part
That's
of it, right? And you have to have a car. Like,
yeah,
you live
exactly.
so far away, there's no way that you couldn't have a car.
Yes, 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 yes. So I guess we went to the WGC awards too. That was a nice night out.
That was nice.
Considering we didn't win, it was a nice
Yes.
night out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 things we hate about film. I honestly don't even know if I have 10 or 5, but there's something very specific that was on my mind, obviously,
Okay.
when I pitched this. Um,
You go first.
I will go first. I just it's 10 things, but these are not like, I mean, they can be whatever, but this particular one, I hate.
If you want to keep listening to this episode, join us over on our Patreon page. There's a link in the About Us.